think that you might have been talking about that drawing. Hmm?
How do you have that still?
Oh, I always have these digital files. I always took pictures of these things that students have done, and every time I have a ink portion to drawing one or drawing two, I always have this up on the screen to show people.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I was,
wow.
and when I printed it out this morning, because I found it in the file and I printed it out this morning, I was thinking about, because I've, followed your career a little bit too, and talking about the way that you model, sculpt, add texture and all these things. And it was happening, in '05, '04, right? So,
It
uh,
was. It
and that's
was. It was.
fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah.
I'm so touched that you kept that. That's actually the one picture I have framed in our house. The other three are in kind of stasis.
Mhm.
One of them is a little bit too depressing to put up on the wall. And the other two are kind of like they were. Again, it was you pushing me to try to create variations on a theme, and they're rigorous and whatever. But they don't like, they're not wall worthy.
Hmm.
But that one, yeah, that one I'm very attached to. So I'm touched. I'm touched that you kept that.
Yeah. I'm still amazed by, some of the techniques that you just did with ink that it seems the way that you negotiated the loss of focus and the reflective element and changing the contrast, minimizing the contrast in that reflective element down below at the bottom of the page is just still spectacular. So
Thank you. Yeah, well, I think the fact that you kind of pushed me to like take my time to really go into it, and I don't know if you remember, but those drawings were precipitated by the loss of somebody, of like my really good childhood friend
right.
that year who had gone missing, and they
Hmm.
never found him. They never found him, but he went missing in the woods of Minnesota, and so I ended up treating that piece and all the other three pieces as
Hmm.
like therapy,
Yeah.
basically, like, and it was, I think that was the first time that I realized that if I spent like more time than I would otherwise, like if I forced myself to take my time and work slowly and carefully and all that, that I could create something bigger than I thought I could, and
Mhm.
so, and that it's funny that also that I, after all these years, or 20 something years, I'm now returning back to a black and white drawing aesthetic after doing 3D modeling and all these different things. Now I've almost rewound,
Mhm.
to that kind of style. So, well, thank you.
Yeah. Fantastic. I'm going to embarrass you with that one of these pictures also from that time period that you're talking about, right? So,
Yes, that was the first one. Yes.
and I do remember having these conversations with you. You shared the story with me, and I
Yeah.
remember getting quite emotional about it. And it was hard for you to talk about because it was recent history at that time, So, and that was
Yeah.
a remarkable thing to see, not just someone who is so um, uh, talented with skill, but also willing to put the time in and to have it bridge to things that were emotionally sensitive and intense. Um, and um, and it's a model I try to get for these advanced students all the time to kind of get in touch with that it'll make their decisions and their product that's so much more meaningful. Even though it could be ending in little tips and turns and failures once in a while, but the whole
Oh,
process just has to continue. So it was a special time working with you and that group of students too. We had a lot of talented people in that class.
it was a good class. It was a really
Hmm.
good class. Absolutely.